This video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and while supplies last, if you mention Saffron Olive in your order notes, we'll hook you up with a free Saffron Olive sticker with any Card Kingdom order.
Rhino number 2. Guess we might as well start attacking. That's what Siege Rhino does. Wooded Foothills for our opponent. Goes with the big attack, gonna take down our Jace, which is fine. We're gonna get to kill a Den Protector, I guess. So we lose the Jace, but that's alright, because we have ample Rhinos. Alright, so we'll just bring to light X4, get another Rhino, cast Rhino. Alright, 3 Rhinos, 2 more in hand.
Hello everyone, I'm Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and this week we are doing something different on Against Odds. We are revisiting a classic deck that all of you chose during last week's voting, and that deck was one of the most popular decks from the very first months of Against Odds. 34 Rhinos, except we are one-upping it this time. When we originally played the deck, it wasn't standard. Well, today we're going to modern, and we're not playing 34 Rhinos. We're upping the ante to 35 Rhinos. So let's see how many Siege Rhinos is too many. Can Siege Rhino compete in modern the same way it did when it was in standard back during Cons of Dark Year standard? So yeah, that's the plan for today. We are playing Rhinos and Rhinos and Rhinos and Rhinos, and hoping that 35 Siege Rhinos will be enough to take down some of the top decks in the modern format. So let's do a quick deck, jump right into gameplay, see how it works. Before we do, a really quick reminder, if you haven't already, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk 35 Rhinos. So the idea of this deck is pretty simple. We are Siege Rhinoing and Siege Rhinoing and Siege Rhinoing and Siege Rhinoing as many times as possible until our opponent dies. If you don't know Siege Rhino, it was the best broken card in its standard format for a while. 4 mana, 4/5, trample. When it enters the battlefield, you drain for 3. You gain 3, your opponent loses 3. So, of course, to play 35 Siege Rhinos in the same deck, because of the annoying rules of Magic, where you can't just play 35 literal Siege Rhinos, we gotta do a bit of work. But we do have, of course, to kick things off, 4 actual Siege Rhinos. Then, probably our most important secondary Siege Rhinos are Bring to Light and Eldrazi's Call. These are Siege Rhinos because they find Siege Rhino. Bring to Light for 5 mana, tutor Siege Rhino directly to the battlefield. Eldrazi's Call, 2 mana, puts it in our hand, but then we can untap cast it the next turn. So these are Rhinos numbers 5 through 12, because that's what we're using them for, to find more copies of Siege Rhino, and because having an actual Siege Rhino on the battlefield is so important to our other cards. These are some of our most important secondary Siege Rhinos. We also have a Turtle Witness, which is a Siege Rhino in kind of a weird way. So Siege Rhinos, let's see, 13 up to 16, a Turtle Witness. A Turtle Witness, of course, can just get a Siege Rhino back from the graveyard, but if a Siege Rhino doesn't happen to die, it can get back a Bring to Light or an Eldrazi's Call to tutor a Siege Rhino out of our deck. So while there's some additional flexibility, once we get to the mid-game, a Turtle Witness should almost always be a Siege Rhino, either just getting back an actual Siege Rhino or one of our Bring to Light Eldrazi's Calls that can find Siege Rhino. Then we have probably our most explosive Rhinos, Crackling Counterpart and Quasi-Duplicate, and this is where Modern allows us to cheat a little bit on our Rhino count. So we were at 16 before. Siege Rhino with Crackling Counterpart and Quasi-Duplicate, either one of these cards can actually be 2 Siege Rhinos by themselves. Crackling Counterpart, 3 mana cast, make a token copy of a creature you control, then you can flash it back for 7 mana. Quasi-Duplicate, basically the same thing except sorcery speed, and we can jumpstart it, so we gotta discard a card, but it's cheaper. So if we have a Siege Rhino, and let's say 6 mana available, we can Quasi-Duplicate, get a Siege Rhino, jumpstart Quasi-Duplicate, get another Siege Rhino, so that's 2 Siege Rhinos in one card. So these 7 copies of Crackling Counterpart and Quasi-Duplicate actually add 14 Siege Rhinos for our deck, which jumps us from 16 Siege Rhinos all the way up to 30, because each of these counts as 2. Then we have Siege Rhinos 31 through 34, which is Phantasmal Image. It's a Siege Rhino because it copies a Siege Rhino. Only one, we can't double it up like Quasi-Duplicate or Crackling Counterpart, but a 2-mana clone is really nice with Siege Rhino, and it gives us a really explosive Rhino Tron draw. So let's say we can get down a Siege Rhino by turn 4. Then the next turn we untap, we make our land, we got 5 mana. That means we can Crackling Counterpart a Rhino, and also Phantasmal Image, a Rhino, in the same turn, which means by turn 5, or if we have some of our non-Rhino accelerants, even earlier in the game, we could just get Rhino Tron on the battlefield. And that's like 9 draining of our opponent, 9 life gain for us, a bunch of huge tramplers on the battlefield. And then finally, Rhino number 35 is actually potentially way more than that. We have one Progenitor Mimic, which we can tutor up with our Eldrazi's Call. It copies Rhino when it comes into play, so it's a Rhino immediately, and then at the beginning of our upkeep, it makes more Rhinos. It makes it copy each one of our upkeeps. So if somehow there's an Ensnaring Bridge on the battlefield, and I don't know, our opponent's gaining enough life that they're not dying, Progenitor Mimic could actually be like hundreds of Rhinos over the course of the game, or like many Rhinos. Probably not 100 because we'd mill out, but you know what I'm saying. Every upkeep a Rhino coming into play, but for our purposes, we're just counting it as a single Rhino. So that gets us up to 35 Rhinos. As far as our non-Rhino cards, pretty simple. Birds of Paradise, Noble Hierarch, just allow us to cast our Rhinos before we die. We're playing Modern. Modern can be a fast format. Having a turn 1 mana accelerant means that we can play a Rhino, let's say on turn 3 instead of turn 4. It turns on that Rhino Tron line of playing a Rhino in the next turn, be able to quasi-duplicate or Cackling Counterpart with Phantasmal Image as early as turn 4, so that's way more explosive. And then Path to Exile just lets us live long enough to actually cast our Rhinos against creature decks. Mana base wise, we're not going to talk about all of it. It's a 5-color deck technically for Bring to Light. We just have a motley crew of fetch lands, shock lands, a bunch of basic lands. So if you want to see the list, just look in the description. You can see the whole list down there. But basically, trust me, we're playing a lot of fetch lands and shock lands to make the mana work. Sideboard wise, we're mostly hoping to do things with creatures because of all of our creature tutor stuff we got going on, creature copying stuff. But Force of Negation for unfair decks, Rested Priest for graveyards, Remorseful Cleric scavenging use, more graveyard hate, also life gain and ooze that's tutorable by like Eldrazi's Call, Bring to Light. We also have Collectoroo for artifact decks, along with Knight of Autumn Acidic Slime. Acidic Slime can also take down lands, which can be nice against Tron if we get it out fast enough. Fulminator Maid, Avalanche Rider, again, mostly for Tron, also for control decks to blow up lands. Eidolon of Rhetoric for Storm-style decks. Cataclysmic Gearhulk, good Bring to Light target against Urza in specific, being able to blow up all their artifacts except for one. Also against go-wide decks. Wouldn't play it normally, but since we can tutor it out with Bring to Light, it gets better. Frilled Mystic, kind of hilarious in control matchups, especially with Crackling Counterpart, where we can like play it and then copy it to counter something in the next turn, and then maybe flash back Crackling Counterpart to do it again. And that is 35 Rhinos for Modern, and that's our Against the Odds deck for this week. So I'm excited for this. The original 35 Rhino deck was one of my favorite Against the Odds decks. We're going to see if just Rhinoing into Rhinos, into Rhinos, into more Rhinos, into more Rhinos can actually work in Modern as well. So let's get to the gameplay, see if 35 Rhinos can be better than 34 Rhinos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. All right. Against the Odds time. We are returning to an Against the Odds classic. 34 Rhinos, except not quite 34 Rhinos, actually 35 Rhinos. We've upped the ante here in Modern. Plus 1 Rhino. Alright, let's see what our opponent's up to. This hand, Oh, Tron. Alright. Tron is probably going to be challenging in game 1. We have some okay sideboard cards, but I think Karn tends to beat Siege Rhino. Opponent, cracks, green. Well, let's see how fast they can set up Tron. Ooh, it's going to be fast. Ancient Stirrings. And, well, there's a Karn if they can find what goes with it. Well, I guess we have Eldrazi's Call. But we don't have a great... what do we even take? Well, let's just Eternal Witness, get back Eldrazi's Call, I guess. Marsh Flats, crack it. Temple Garden, untapped. Eternal Witness. Eldrazi's Call. Don't card us, please. Please don't card us. Do you have Tron? They do. Alright. There's a card. Karns are land. Yup. Well, that's not great. Play Watery Grave, untapped. Go to combat. Hit Karn. The losingest of losing battles. Phantasmal Image on Eternal Witness. Get back a land past the turn. Oh dear. Opponent ticks up. Well, we'll get rid of Path to Exile. Actually, let's get rid of Eldrazi's Call. Sanctum of Ugin for our opponent. Alright. It is the full Tron nuts, and we will scoop it up. Yeah, Siege Rhinos ain't beating that. Well, we get to bring in a Fulminator. We get to bring in 2 Collector's Oofs, an Acidic Slime, an Avalanche Riders. Go down a couple of Path to Exiles. Go down... Probably Mimic is pretty expensive. Go down an Eternal Witness and a Crackling Counterpart. And do we want Force of Negation? Let's bring in a Force of Negation for a Witness and 1 for a Phantasmal Image. Actually, let's keep the Phantasmal Image, bring it in for a Quasi-Duplicate, run it like that. So in this matchup, we need to be able to attack the lands first, and then hopefully Rhino. Yeah, we get to play first, which is nice. All right. I mean, we got a Fulminator. That helps at least. Yeah, Rhinos, I mean, we're still going to win with Rhinos most likely, but we're going to have to play it a little slower with the Rhinos most likely against Tron. And try to, like, Fulminator, Acidic Slime, that kind of stuff. All right, Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent went to 5, so maybe they won't be able to reassemble easily. Urza's mine. And Expedition Map. Opponent passes. I'll play the Plains. Pass the turn. Opponent. Tower. Well, they mulligan into Tron. Let's Eldrazi's Call. Take Avalanche Rider. Untap. Play Watery Grave. Untapped. Run out Fulminator Mage. And start the land destruction. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks the map. Gets Power Plant. Well, we'll blow up the tower. Opponent. Chromatic Star. And Power Plant. And cracks it. Yup. Ancient Stirrings. Gets a map. Opponent passing. Oh, there's a Rhino, but I think we gotta wait. We have to Misty Rainforest, crack it. Stomping Grounds, untapped. Avalanche Riders, blow up Power Plant. Go to combat, attack, hit our opponent. We are really trying to keep our opponent off Tron. Opponent, map, and more Power Plants. They just keep it coming. Well, alright, we sack Avalanche Rider. Play Windswept Teeth, crack it. White, green, red, blue, black. Get a forest. Bring to light. X5. Take Acidic Slime. Cast it. Blow up the Power Plant. If our opponent still assembles Tron, I'm going to be so sad. Give us a Quasi-Duplicate. Come on. Or Eternal Witness to keep... Alright, Urza's mine. So no Tron yet. Opponent passes. Quasi-Duplicate. Swamp. Well, go to combat. Get in with Acidic Slime. Hit our opponent. Down to 16. Run out Siege Rhino. Opponent down to 13. Opponent's going to crack and get a land. It's another Power Plant. Play Misty Rainforest. Pass the turn. Oh, we're going to probably need 1 more. We've blown up a lot of Tron lands, but we're going to... Oh, opponent's done. Whoo! It was enough. It was enough. Well, the Rhino came down to scare our opponent away, but really, Fulminator, Avalanche Rider, Bring to Light, 3 land destruction spells in a row in the play. That kept us alive long enough to Rhino. Well, we got a game off Tron at least. We can be proud of that. I don't know... I don't know what our odds are of this working out long term. Being on the draw is really scary. We really got to hope for a turn 1 mana dork, I think. Ooh, okay. This could work. Tower. Expedition Map. Oh, it might be too slow with this draw. Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. Yeah, our opponent might just have Tron. Oh, is it the nuts? It's Tron, it's the nuts. Every opponent passes. Fulminator? No. In that case, we can't stop Tron, so I guess our best bet is just to play Oof. And hope our opponent doesn't have a finisher. Pass the turn. Urza's mine. It's a Karn. Yeah. Well, we tried hard. Opponent kills our Oof. And passes. Well, play Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Play Eldrazi's Call. Get a Acidic Slime. Pass the turn. Cashes and Karn, exiles a land. Oh, they got a tower. It's a tower. Karn the Great Creator for the lock, and we will scoop it up and... apparently Rhinos. Not going to keep up with Tron. Yeah, alright. Get him next time. Alright. Against the odds time, we are back to break our own Rhino records. 35 Rhinos, topping our previous record of 34. back at standard. This ad is risky. We have a lot of pseudo rhinos, but we need a real rhino. Bring to Light can get us there slowly, and then once we start copying it, things should be good. Sacred Foundry. Oh, is it burn? Ugh. Okay. Well, the Bring to Light Rhino plan might be a smidge on the slow side in this matchup. Down to 19. Eternal Witness. We'll play Windswept Teeth past the turn. Opponent. Combat. Swift Spews in. And bolts our face. Yup. 16. 14. Well, crack a fetch. Take Breeding Pool. Tapped. Crack a fetch. Take Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Untap. Oh, there's a Noble Hierarch. Play a land. Eternal Witness. Get back Windswept Teeth. Pass the turn. Do we live long enough to Rhino is the big question. Opponent untaps. Combat. Gets in. Well, I think we block and hope for the best. Alright, there's the bolt. Hits our face. Opponent passes. Well, Windswept Teeth. Crack it. Plains. Get a Plains. Play Noble Hierarch. Quasi-duplicate Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn. Well, let's see. What do you got, opponent? Not a land, please. Opponent, combat. Gets in. Well, we will take it. There's the bolt. So we're temporarily to 3, which is scary. Untap. Path isn't bad. White, green, blue, black, whatever. Actually, maybe we leave... Let's leave a Noble Hierarch untapped. So Bring to Light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X4. Get a Siege Rhino. Play the Siege Rhino. Do we get to untap? Our opponent could draw a land and go bolt, bolt. Otherwise, next turn is going to be so good. Up to 6. Rhino 1 down. There's the land. Can they kill us is the question. Opponent passes. Okay. So in that case, we will quasi-duplicate our Rhino. Number 2. Go to combat. Attack. Back up to 9. Rhino coming for you. Oh, man. Oh, man, it was fast enough. Opponent takes it to 6. We pass the turn, and we still have another Rhino, an instant speed Rhino. Opponent, they're going to try to do something. We're going to make them sad. Ooh, a Lightning Helix, you say? Well, you know what I say to that? I say, Rhino. That's what we say to everything. Rhino. I think we got him. And we got 2 more in hand and 2 more in the graveyard. Whoa! Rhinos. Rhinos, Rhinos. Well, our opponent only had 1 land, which helped. But the Rhinos were fast enough to get the job done that game. We will bring in a Knight of Autumn in a Scavenging Ooze. Maybe a couple forced negations. Negates are good against our opponent's deck. We probably got to go down Progenitor Mimic. Maybe like 1... Man, we kept we kept the riskiest hand and got paid off. Yeah, bring in the Mimic. Or go down the Mimic. Go up. Go up. Knight of Autumn, 2 forced negation, Scavenging Ooze. Maybe we go down like 1 Crackling Counterpart. A Phantasmal Image. Ugh. Alright, and a quasi-duplicate. Let's try it like that. Actually, maybe we go down... Yeah, that's fine. Alright, opponent's on the play, which is scary. But it does mean, even if we lose this one, we can potentially win in games 2 and 3 on the play. We're going to keep this. It's a bit risky, but we got 2 birds. We got to pass. Eldrazi's Call can eventually be a Rhino. Opponent's doing a smidge of mulliganing. I mean, Rhinos are insane against burn if we live long enough to Rhino. That is the question. Opponent, Bloodstained Mire, cracks it. Sacred Foundry, and Goblin Guide. Ooh, can we get a land? Please, 1 time. Goblin Guide gets in. Ooh, we do get a land. I like that. Down to 18. Yeah, we're going to do it. Windswept Teeth, crack it. Get a Temple Garden. Down to 15. Birds of Paradise, go. Mountain for our opponent. Please no Searing Blaze. Alright, blazes us to 12. Hits us to 10.
Opponent gets in with a Goblin Guide. We get a land. Down to 10. Untap. We draw Swamp. Dare we shock ourselves? So risky. Breeding Pool, untapped, down to 8. Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. Huh! Opponent. Combat. Gets in. Top card. Eldrazi Skull. Well, I think we got a path, Goblin Guide. 8 is not a high life total. Opponent gets a land. And Eidolon. Yup. Opponent passes. Play Stomping Grounds tapped. Pass the turn. Oh, we could just be dead. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Well, path Eidolon. Drop to 6. Do you have 2 burn spells, opponent? Well, I mean, we gotta go for it. Eldrazi Skull. Are we dead? Grab a Rhino. Untap. The question is, do we play the Rhino? Even though our opponent could just skull crack us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think what we do is play Noble Hierarch, play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. I think we leave up Force of Negation this turn. Next turn we can Rhino with Force of Negation up. Boros Charm. Well, gotta counter it. Opponent untaps. Are we still dead? Swift Spear. Eidolon. Opponent attacks. Well, we will block. Stay at 6. Untap. Play a Swamp. Black. Green. White. Whatever. Rhino. Up to 9. Pass the turn. Staying alive. Staying alive. Opponent untaps. Goblin Guide. Yup. No attacks. Okay. So we untap. Night of Autumn. Take 2. Gain 4. Crack Misty. Take an island. No attacks this turn. Pass the turn. Staying on defense. Leaving up our crackly counterpart. Opponent. We're back up to 10. And Poe scoops it up. Rhinos getting the job done against Bird. And maybe my Rhinos are just good. Maybe they're good. Oh, we've played a lot of Rhinos, and it has been pretty effective. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I forgot how sweet this deck was. Or how sweet the idea of the deck was. It's obviously way different since we're 5 years in the future and in Modern, but still, apparently just Rhinoing people. Pretty effective. All right, sweet. All right, against the odds time, we are playing 35 Rhinos in Modern. And, yeah, we'll give this a go. Ramp, Rhino, Rhino. See what happens. Opponent in the tank. Black Cleave Glyphs. And Inquisition. Well, there goes Ramper Rhino, I assume. Alright, takes Noble Hierarch, slowing us down a bit. Well, Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass the turn. Rhino number 2, well, actually 3, isn't bad if we get to it. Bloodstained Mire. Opponent cracks it. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. And Tarmogoyf. Yup. Opponent passes. Well, Misty Rainforest, go. Eternal Witness means we get back a land for this Rhino, at least. Opponent, combat, attacks. I think we take 3 for now. Yeah, we don't really want to give our opponent a land yet. And they could have, like, Dark Confidant or something. Thought Seize. Well, in that case, I guess we have to do this. Crack it, Temple Garden, untapped, Pathgoyf. Opponent grabs a forest. Now we probably lose Eternal Witness. Yup, Eternal Witness down. Raging Ravine. Opponent passes. I'll play Misty. Pass the turn. Next turn we can play a Rhino. We'll see. We'll see what our opponent has. Opponent untaps. Forest. Okay. Raging Ravine attack. Yup. Gets in for 4. Well, crack this. Black, white. I think we need... Yeah, let's get a Breeding Pool tapped. We drop to 9. Untap. Flooded Strand. Crack it. Take a island. Black, white, green, and Rhino, number 1. Go back up to 11, pass the turn. We wouldn't mind 1 more land to be able to Birds of Paradise plus Rhino to have a Liliana buffer. Scavenging use. Yep. And opponent passes. Well, play the plains. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Down to 8. White, black, green, whatever. Siege Rhino, number 2. Opponent gonna start eating stuff. Yup.
Well, hopefully there's no Maelstrom Pulse. That would be the worst. Eats. Siege Rhino. Opponent down to 7. Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. No Pulse, please. Opponent kills the Birds of Paradise. Alright. Opponent. Oh my god. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Oh, that's ridiculously bad for us. Opponent gets in. Hits us. Wow. That is the blowout of the year against the Rhinos. Well... Now we have to Phantasmal Image, copy Scavenging Ooze, eat a Siege Rhino, eat a Birds of Paradise, pass the turn. Alright, what do you draw, opponent? Not more removal, please. Raging Ravine, yep. Opponent, getting in. Well, we will take it, unfortunately. Down to 8, untap. Opponent's got a card in hand. Well, I think we... White, blue, green, white, black. Bring to light. Take a Rhino. Cast the Rhino. Opponent to 4. Is it worth attacking? I think no. Let's just pass the turn. Opponent. Oh, red and 6 is a really good one. Oh, gets back on land. Okay. I thought they would ping our Scavenging Ooze for sure. It's another Scavenging Ooze. Opponent. Passes. What is our best plan? Well, let's Eldrazi's Call. Take Rhino. Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Take a Forest. Rhino. Attack our opponent. Opponent blocks. Yep, jumps. Sure. And cracks the fetch and dies. Oh man, Rhinos! Through a Maelstrom Pulse on 2 Rhinos, we were still able to outjudge Jun. Rhino. Opponent cannot keep up. That is how this deck works. Oh my goodness. That was super impressive. I cannot believe we won after our opponent being able to basically ruin our day with a Maelstrom Pulse on double Rhino. Still got there. Oh, nice try, opponent. Nice try. Okay. So, opponent's Junding. I guess, like, Frilled Mystic is probably decent. Scavenging Ooze makes sense. Maybe we want Cataclysmic Gear Hulk? Like, going down maybe 1 Quasi-Duplicate, 1 Eternal Witness. And maybe we gotta go down Mimic. Let's try it like that. Alright! Well, Rhinos. Nice Goifs. Nice red and 6. We got Rhinos. Okay. This we will keep. Ren and 6 killing our Noble Hierarch's annoying, but opponent, Black Leaf Cliffs, and passes. Well, Temple Garden, I actually think we got to play it tapped and not Noble Hierarch into Ren and 6. Pass the turn. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Tarmogoyf. Opponent passes. Well, play Noble Hierarch, play Windswept Teeth, pass the turn. This way, worst case, we can try to like path our own Noble Hierarch if we have to. What you got, opponent? What you got? Wooded Foothills. Opponent getting in. No blocks, opponent. Sneaky, fetch land opponent. Not falling for it. We're not. Opponent cracks. Grows the Goif. Grabs a forest. Hits us down to 19. And Fulminator Mage. Alright, that's annoying. Blows up our land. Also pretty annoying. Awkward. Very awkward. I guess we just untap. We draw land, which is nice. Play the land. Now what is the question? We're at 19. Let's crack this. Grab a Breeding Pool. Untapped. Phantasmal Image. Copy Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn. Trying to undo that Fulminator Mage. Opponent. Maelstrom Pulse. Well, crack Windswept Teeth. Take a Godless Shrine. Untapped. Down to 13. Path. Noble Hierarch. Grab a Island. Fizzle, part of the Maelstrom Pulse at least. Opponent. Getting in. Hits us down to 9. Yup. We untap. Misty Rainforest. Well, black, white, green, whatever. Siege Rhino, if we tap properly. Run out Siege Rhino. Go up to 12. Hit our opponent. Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. If we get to untap with these quasi-duplicates, it would be sweet. And the Rhino, of course. What you got, opponent? What you got? Land. Spins a wheel, Bloodbraid. Oh, okay. Abrupt Decay does not kill Siege Rhino. That's fine. That's fine. Gonna kill our Noble Hierarch. Well, this means we get to start copying Rhinos, which is exactly what we were hoping for. Opponent can attack, crack Misty, grab a white, green. We need a white source. Hollowed Fountain tapped. Untap. Well, we will quasi-duplicate Siege Rhino. Drain our opponent, go to 14. Play a Watery Grave tapped. No attacks past the turn! More Rhinos! They keep coming. What do you got, opponent? They already used Maelstrom Pulse. How many could they possibly have? Spins a wheel on Bloodbraid. Renin 6. Okay. Sure. More Bloodbraids. Wooded Foothills. Returns. Plays it. Opponent. Passes. Well, man, if they find if they find a way to get back a Maelstrom Pulse, let's Rhino. Number 3. Opponent down to 8. Up to 17. Can we go attacking? Instant sorcery, creature, land. Well, no. Let's not attack. The Goyf. Alright. No attacks. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks down to 7. I mean, Maelstrom Pulse ruins our day hard. Untaps. What you got, opponent? Gets back the land. Plays the land. We have Rhinotrod. Opponent gets in. Does not get in. Opponent passes. We untap. Breeding Pool. Well, Breeding Pool untapped. And we will pass the turn. See what our opponent does. We do want to close out the game before this Renin 6 ultimates. Kolaghan's Command. Well, let's Frilled Mystic. Opponent cracks. Down to 6. Gets a Forest. We counter Kolaghan's Command. Kolaghan's Command number 2. Alright, opponent runs them all out. Crackling Counterpart gone. Alright, we'll see. Pass the turn. We need some Rhinos. We need some Rhinos. Opponent gets back the land. We're probably just going to have to all-out attack here in a minute. Oh, another Goyf. That makes it worse. And a Fulminator. And a land. Opponent. Come on, Phantasmal Image. Opponent passes. Well, we will pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Alright, draws. Cracks. Down to 5. Blood Crypt tapped. Gets back the land. Combat. Land. Well, we got to try this. Crackling Counterpart. A Rhino. Do you have an answer, opponent? Oh, they have a Fatal Push. All right, opponent staying alive. Well, Overgrowth Tomb. Untapped. Crackling Counterpart. A Rhino. Wow. Are we going to end up just short? Opponent to 2. But if they have a land, they can kill all of our stuff with this Renin 6 ultimate. Wow. Opponent cashes it in. I'm assuming this means land in hand to Maelstrom Pulse to ruin our day. Maelstrom Pulse, 5, 10, 11, 12, and we're dead. Oh my god. Wow. Maybe we should have been attacking earlier. I don't know. We would have been trading Rhinos for bad creatures. Oh, well, that's the power of Renin 6. We Rhinoed forever, but we couldn't actually find a way to close out the game because our opponent ended up getting Tarmogoyfs on defense, and it ruined our day. All right, well, we'll keep this. Oh, boy. Oh, I can't help but thinking maybe we could have done something different. Although the attacks aren't that appealing. But with our opponent getting so close to dead, maybe throwing away Rhinos, trading with Bloodbraids would have been worth it. Blackleaf Cliffs for our opponent. Fatal Pushes our birds. Hooray. Hooray for Fatal Push. Verdant Catacombs, go. See if our opponent has everyone's favorite, Renin 6. Verdant Catacombs. Looks like the answer is yes. It's a Tarmogoyf. Yup. Opponent passes. Well, let's crack Verdant Catacombs. Take a Temple Garden. Untapped. Path the Goyf. Untap. Play Birds of Paradise. Breeding Pool. Untapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Blood Crypt. And opponent's really thinking about this Blood Crypt. So we get an Eldrazi's Call for a Rhino. Tapped land. And Abrupt Decay on birds. Okay. Opponent passing. Well, we will white, green, Eldrazi's Call. Take a Rhino. Untap. Play a swamp.
run out Rhino part 1. Drain our opponent. Pass the turn. Whoa! Opponent scoops it up! It only took one Rhino, and we keep crushing good decks in Modern with Rhino after Rhino after Rhino. Our Rhino counter is super high, and apparently Rhino is still good. It's kind of amazing that when we first played 34 Rhinos, it was in Standard 4 years ago, and we're playing it 4 years later in a much more powerful format and still crushing people, still crushing them with Rhinos. Just play them all and good things happen. Whew. All right. 35 Rhinos. Sweet, sweet. All right. Against odds time, we are mulliganing with Rhinos, and Modern. 35 Rhinos. We'll put a Bird's Paradise to the bottom. So we have ramp into a Rhino. And then we'll go from there. See what our opponent's up to. Let's see. Let's Marsh Flats, crack it. Take a Temple Garden, untapped, and the Noblest of Hierarchs. Pass the turn. Oh, Tron. Oh boy. Well, play Birds of Paradise. Play Misty Rainforest. Go to combat. Get in with Noble Hierarch. Pass the turn. If it's Eldrazi Tron, we have a shot. If it's normal Tron, okay, it's Eldrazi Tron. So we should have a shot at least. We do get to get Rhino number 1 this turn. Opponent. Warping Whale. Well, crack Misty Rainforest. Grab a... take a Watery Grave tapped. Oh, I mostly just want to draw... Oh, now we don't get to Rhino yet, sadly. Unless we draw a Rhino. Then we get to Rhino. Well, Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass the turn. Oh, come on. No Thought Not Seers. Please. No Thought Not Seers. Opponent. Untaps. Double Eldrazi Temple. That's not fair. Expedition map for our opponent. And Chalice on 1. Yup. Opponent passes. Now play an island. Bring to light. Red, white, green, black, blue. Bring to light. X5. Rhino. Number 1. Incoming. Hopefully. All right. Siege Rhino. Cast Siege Rhino. Opponent. Down to 16. We're up to 19. Pass the turn. We got the Quasi-Duplicate in hand, too. Oh, no. When Eldrazi Tron lucks their way into Tron, it's the worst. Matter Reshaper. Opponent passing. Eternal Witness. Well, I guess we Quasi-Duplicate Siege Rhino. Drain our opponent. Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. Quasi-Duplicate Siege Rhino. Number 3, Rhino Tron. Can Rhino Tron beat real Tron? That's what we're going to figure out. Opponent down to 10. Go to combat. Hit our opponent. But they backdoored their way into Tron with double Eldrazi Temple. Opponent's going to block, going to draw a card. What do they find? What do they hit? We have the Rhinos. Opponent down to 8. Hits Eldrazi Temple number million. Oh, my Lord almighty. All right, opponent has literally infinite mana. What do they have to cast with it? That is the question. We have 3 Rhinos, but our opponent has literally an absurd amount of mana. It is so ridiculous. All right, opponent. Opponent. Going to cast the biggest Eldrazi in the... Oh, they have all his dust? Come on. Come on. Oh! Oh, Tron. All right. Well, there's a Karn. And, yeah. Well, we've made a lot of Rhinos. Our Rhino counter keeps ticking up. Unfortunately, Eldrazi Tron backdoored their way into Tron, and they had all his dust, and they had Karn. So yeah, sadly, no number of Rhinos is going to undo what just happened to us. Noble Hierarch. Now we get hardlocked, and we scoop it up. Yeah, Karn just gets Mycosynth Lattice. They have 20 mana, so, yeah. Then we can't do anything. Well, what do we do about that? Our draw was pretty good, too. Our Rhino counter, whew. We had a lot of Rhinos. Sadly, our opponent had Karn and Tron somehow. And all his dust. That was a big one. So I guess, like, Collector, Oof, Acidic Slime in. And that might be it. Going down, I guess, like, a Quasi-Duplicate and a couple of Eternal Witnesses. Try it like that. We are on the play, which is nice. Well, all right. We got an Oof. We will keep the Oof. We got lots of Crackling counterparts, but we're going to need a Rhino to go with that. Or, like, Acidic Slime would be good. Well, Temple Garden. Tapped.
Pass the turn. Eldrazi Temple, of course. Because that's how Eldrazi Tron rolls. We will Verdant Catacombs, crack it. Breeding Pool, untapped. Run out a oof. And pass the turn. Ugh, that's depressing. Alright, double Eldrazi Temple here on the mulligan. Opponent gets to take a card from our hand. I would guess it's Phantasmal Image, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this is a good example of why I've spent a large portion of the last of my Magic career complaining about Eldrazi Temple. And it happens even more now with London Mulligans. But, well, we will crack this. We will take a Hallowed Fountain. Actually, I guess we got to take Watery Grave. Take a Watery Grave. Untapped. We will play a Phantasmal Image. Copy Thought-Knot Seer. See what's in our opponent's hand. Chalice of the Void. All is Dust. Thought-Knot Seer. We'll take Thought-Knot Seer. Take Thought-Knot Seer. Pass the turn. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Well, path Thought-Knot Seer. And opponent scoops it up? Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Double Eldrazi Temple! And opponent's the one conceding? We had a Rhino incoming, too. Alright, alright, alright. Well, we have a shot. Even through, I can't believe we beat double Eldrazi Temple. Whoa! Huh! Okay, we didn't Rhino, but we got the early scoop, so we'll take it. Ooh, this hand's too slow. It has 2 Rhinos. They're just the slowest Rhinos. This will keep, I guess. We will put Bring to Light to the bottom. Really got to hope this Birds lives. And that we continue to draw lands. We have Rhinos, though. We have Rhinos for days if our mana works out. We are in the draw, which is good. Opponent. Power Plant. Passes. Land? Phantasmal Image. Well, Breeding Pool. Untapped. And Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. Come on, land! And no removal for the birds. Uh-oh. Is this just the accidental Tron hand? Opponent, Mindstone. Land? Alright, there's a Marsh Flats. So we will just pass the turn. Oh, please not Tron. Please not accidental Tron. Waste. Okay. At least it's not Tron. Thought-Knot Seer. Well, we will crack. Alright, we will let it resolve. I don't even know. Do we path it? Yeah, let's path it. If we draw land, we get to Rhino. So opponent, no land to get. We draw another Crackling counterpart. Okay. Now opponent gets to snag something. Takes a Crackling counterpart. Yep. And passing. Come on, land. Come on, land for Rhino. Land for Rhino? One time. Rhino. Oh, play Birds of Paradise. And, yeah, I guess we just gotta pass. Oh, no Tron. Nothing scary, please. Opponent, attempts. Oh, no. Oh, God. That's the worst. Blast Zone. Pass the turn. Yeah, we might be in a smidge of trouble. That Blast Zone. And there's Eldrazi Temple. Opponent plays a Matter Reshaper. Opponent plays a Matter Reshaper. And passes. Land? Man, we have so many Rhinos in hand, but that Blast Zone means we just can't cast them. Ugh, this isn't great. Crack Marsh Flats. Take a Godless Shrine. Untap 15. Phantasmal Image. Copy Matter Reshaper. Yeah, we're just so far behind on mana. Opponent cracks the Mind Stone. Another Eldrazi Temple. Into Mystic Forge. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we gotta hit lands. We cannot win without hitting lands, so we gotta block. Even though this gives our opponent a card. Alright. Eternal Witness. Gets back Marsh Flats. That is a land in a roundabout way. Opponent gets a All is Dust. That's not great. Rhino. I'll play Marsh Flats. Crack Marsh Flats. Get a Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Play Phantasmal Image. Copy Eternal Witness. Get back Marsh Flats. Noble Hierarch. Ugh. Pass the turn. Well, I guess we get in. Pass the turn. With that all is dust in hand though, and Mystic Forge on the battlefield, not super hopeful with where we're at the moment. That Blast Zone was so good. The Blast Zone meant we just didn't get to play any Rhinos this game, honestly. But I guess that's a risk. We kept a hand that was one land Birds of Paradise. Our plan for being in that game, Chalice of the Void on 3. Our plan for remaining in that game was being able to... now what? This is kind of an interesting spot. We can Siege Rhino, but then we get all is dusted. We can bring to light, but that doesn't really keep us from getting all is dusted. We can blow up the Mystic Forge, but all is dust is the big issue, I think. Well, go to combat, attack. Yup. Opponent blocks. Matter Reshaper into Tron. Ugh. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Grab a Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Blue, red, white, green. Blue, red, black, green, white. Bring to light. X5. Take a... Yeah, it's got to be Acidic Slime. Acidic Slime, cast it. Sadly, we have to hit Mystic Forge. And we pass the turn. If our opponent has Karn, we're pretty done. Opponent. All the mana. What are the payoffs? So, one card is All is Dust. There's All is Dust. There goes our board. And then, Walking Ballista X3. And a Ghost Quarter. So close. Well, yeah. Sad. Sad times. We were close. All is Dust was a big swing in this game. I think that is what allowed our opponent to survive. Actually, 2 of the 3 games. Hitting those All is Dust. And also hitting double Eldrazi Temple really consistently to play it fast. Eldrazi Temple. So the big problem here is... we're locked into chump blocking this Ballista basically forever. So to have a chance, we need to draw a Path to Exile. We need to draw a path. We need to draw it probably this turn. Opponent goes to combat, attacks. We are forced to chump with Siege Rhino. Yep. Well, crack Marsh Flats. Down to 8. Thin the deck. Take a Watery Grave, I guess. Path to Exile off the top. Phantasmal Image. Well, play Verdant Catacombs. That's actually sort of interesting. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Down to 7. Grab a Forest. Green, white, black, whatever. Siege Rhino, number 2. Drain our opponent. Unfortunately, Phantasmal Image Siege Rhino dies to 1 ping of Walking Ballista. Drain our opponent. Oh... yeah, opponent kills it. Gets drained. Our Rhinos are doing Rhino-y things, but All is Dust. So good. Well, pass the turn. Opponent tapping mana to put more counters on Walking Ballista somehow. Pass the turn. Opponent draws. Goes to combat. Well, we got a block. Unfortunately, we also got Chalice on 3 thanks to Tron, which is annoying. Or else his Crackling counterpart would be good. Opponent drew something big. Something huge. Or else they're just dumping a bunch of counters. Tapping, untapping, passing. We draw. Birds of Paradise. And we are officially dead. Walking Ballista, ping attack. Oh, so close. Well, good news is we Rhinoed a lot. Bad news is apparently Tron is the nemesis. Especially, I say this I feel like every week, but London Mulligan Tron is just so ridiculous. So ridiculous how consistent it is. But we played a lot of Rhinos. Sadly, our opponent was able to beat a lot of Rhinos by all his dusting. And kind of just stumbling into Tron. Well, at least we played Rhinos, and that was our goal. Alright, against the odds time, we are redoing a classic against the odds deck this week. 34 Rhinos, except this time, we have upped the ante. 35 Rhinos in Modern, and We don't have any ramp, so we're on the draw. These Rhinos might be kind of slow, but we do have 2 Rhinos, so we'll see. We'll see how the matchup goes. Windswept Heath, opponent passes. Birds of Paradise, Crackling Counterpart. Well, that'll be good after we get Rhinos going, perhaps. Verdant Catacombs, go. Opponent cracks Windswept Heath. Hallowed Fountain. Oh, is this a control deck with weird fetches? Snow-covered forest. Opponent passes. Well, let's crack Catacombs. Take a Breeding Pool tapped. Untap. Flooded Strand. Go. Opponent Ice Fang Quaddle. Probably playing a Soulherder deck, I would guess. Untaps. Combat. Yeah, it's in for 1. Yup. Down to 18. I'll crack this. Take a Godless Shrine tapped. Untap. Temple Garden. Untapped. Eternal Witness. Get back a Verdant Catacombs. Pass the turn. Well, next turn the Rhinos start flowing, hopefully. I assume our opponent has another Quaddle here, but opponent. Quaddle. Draws a card. Looking for that Soulherder. And lands. Opponent. Untaps. Prismatic Vista. The noblest of hierarchs. Yup. Opponent. Getting in. We'll take it. Down to 13. Well, that's fine because the Rhinos are coming. The Rhinos are certainly coming. Go to combat. Get in with Eternal Witness. Ooh. Does our opponent have... What does our opponent have? Another Quaddle? Snow-covered island. Takes it to 16. Well, alright. Play an island. Green, black, white, whatever. Siege Rhino. Rhino, part 1 of 35. Resolves. Back up to 16. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Well, there's more Rhinos where that came from. Opponent combat. Gets in for 2. Back down to 14. We will take it. Opponent passes. Well, let's play Birds of Paradise. Verdant Catacombs. Go to combat. Attack with Eternal Witness. Opponent blocks. Ephemerate. Well, we will Path Quaddle. And, yeah, let's just pass and see what our opponent does. We would like to Crackling Counterpart, but we'd also like our opponent to tap down. Opponent, combat. Gets in. Sure. Down to 12. Misty Rainforest. Time Warp. Alright. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Grab a Forest. Crackling Counterpart. Our Siege Rhino. More Rhinos. Opponent gets another turn. Untaps. Flooded Strand. Combat. Gets in with Quaddle. Yup. Down to 12. Cracks Misty Rainforest. Down to 9. Gets a basic. Opponent passes. Venser. Interesting. Bounces our token Siege Rhino. Okay. Well, let's play Stomping Grounds untapped. Play Eternal Witness. Get back Path to Exile. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. Loses Venser. Drops to 5. Ooh, how do we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we have to leave a path. Let's quasi-duplicate Eternal Witness. Worried about path if we go for Siege Rhino. Alright, opponent does have interaction. Gets a land. Might be Force Negation. Alright, there's Force Negation. Well, pass the turn. Alright, opponent, what you got? We got Rhinos. Can they close out the game? Opponent untaps. Eternal Witness. Gets back Time Warp. Okay. There's a land. Cracks it to 3. Time Warps. Sure. Opponent gets in for 2. Hits us. Yup. Down to 8. Extra turn. 2 cards in hand. Untaps. Rhino is lethal. Opponent is at 3. Opponent. Soulherder. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will block with Eternal Witness. Night of Autumn. Okay. I assume this is to gain life. Yup. And then we will Path Soulherder. Opponent goes up to 7. Passes. We untap. Go to combat. Swing. Opponent blocks. Drops to 3. Well, we will Rhino. Opponent to 1. Pass the turn. I think the Rhinos might be getting there. Apparently just enough Rhinos. We'll get there eventually against Soulherder. Opponent, what do you have? Plenty of mana. I'm mostly just worried about our opponent ending up with infinite turns, and opponent scoops it up and the Rhinos get it done. Whew. Apparently infinite Rhinos can beat infinite Soulherders. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Alright, so opponent is trying to Soul Herd us. What do we want to fight Soulherder? We can bring in our Scavenging Ooze to shut down our opponent's Eternal Witnesses. We can bring in... Actually, might not be very much. Maybe Cataclysmic Gear Hulk? Probably cutting like... Maybe like one Phantasmal Image, one Crackling Counterpart. Run it like that. Well, Rhinos got it done in game one. I don't even know. I lost track of how many Rhinos it took. It was a lot. But that win was very much a Rhino win. Maybe we could just outgrind. So this has the feeling of a match that could get pretty crazy. Like, if our opponent goes off, especially if we could shut down infinite turns, our opponent's going to build a big board of stuff, but we're also building a big board of Rhinos. And I honestly don't know what the end result is. Like, I don't know how that all shakes out. No idea. But we're going to find out heading into game number 2 with 35 Rhinos. Alright, we will keep this. We're a little land light, but we have a birds, and our opponent's deck doesn't really play non-path removal, I don't think, so our birds should live. Snow-covered island. Opponent passes. We do need a land, though, at some point. Land? That's a land. Misty Rainforest. Crack Misty Rainforest. Breeding Pool. Untapped. And Bird's Paradise. Pass the turn. Opponent. Snow-covered forest. Passes. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Eternal Witness. There's Coatl. We get back a land. Pass the turn. Opponent. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. And passes. Vendilion Click. Alright. So that can take our Rhino, sadly. Targets us. Takes the Rhino. Well, go to combat. Get in with Eternal Witness. Hit our opponent. Play Birds of Paradise. Misty Rainforest. Pass the turn. We can tutor it back up with Eldrazi's Call. Snow-covered island for our opponent. Combat. Gets in. We will take it. Down to 12. Well, let's... Eldrazi's Call. Opponent counters. Well, crack Misty. Ooh, that even exiles? That's kind of obnoxious. Take Temple Garden tapped. Untap. Rhino. Rhino. Give us a Rhino. Ooh, that is a Rhino. Go to combat. Get in with Eternal Witness. Rhino was a good draw. Opponent takes it. Well, I guess we Rhino. White, green, black, whatevs. Siege Rhino. Drain our opponent. Watery Grave. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Prismatic Vista. Cracks Prismatic Vista. Snow-covered Plains. Muldrifter to draw a couple cards. Yup. Opponent gets in. Well, let's... Yeah, let's take it. Down to 11. And then we will Path Coatl. Man, Quasi-Duplicate would be absurd. That would be so insane here. Opponent passes. Quasi-Duplicate. Well, a Rhino. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent takes it. Down to 4. Oh, do we have to get back our path? We probably do. Eternal Witness. Get back path. Gonna have to save Rhino for next turn. Play the island, pass the turn. Opponent. Land. Noble Hierarch. Combat. Gets in for 4, so we drop to 7. Yep. And Night of Autumn. Gonna gain a bit of life. Up to 8. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. See how our opponent blocks. If they do not block properly, this could jank our opponent out. Opponent blocks. 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 Yup. Down to 5. Passes. Well, black, white, green, whatever. Rhino. Down to 2. Pass the turn. The Rhinos are coming. The Rhinos are coming. Can our opponent find a way out? Opponent. Icefang Coatl draws a card. Coiling Oracle draws a card. It's a Teferi Time Raveler. Not very good against Siege Rhino, I would say. Bounce it, please, opponent. Bounce it. We would love it. We would love it. Runs out to Teferi. Okay. Yep. Please? Please? Bounce a Rhino? And I think that's what 35 Rhinos can do. All we did was play Rhinos, and it was enough. Oh, they do bounce a Rhino. I love you, opponent. Thank you so much, opponent. Yes, yes, yes. We are very Teferi proof. Opponent, 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 opponent. I don't see a way out. We have, this is a lethal Rhino, this is a lethal Rhino. We could draw another Rhino. I feel like we got this in many ways. An opponent scoops it up, and the Rhino counter was high on that one. Whew! All right, Rhinos for days, picking up the win against Soulherder. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So what do we learn this week about 35 Rhinos in Modern? And I gotta say, I was pretty happy with how the deck turned out. We played 5 matches. Technically, we went 3-2, although the deck actually felt more better and way more Rhino-y than that. So if you look at our matches, we out-Rhino Tron, we sieged Bant Soulherder, and then we also just like Rhino'd Burn into oblivion, which was absolutely insane. We lost to traditional Tron in a 3-game match. They always have Karn. That's going to happen. Karn beats Siege Rhino, eats our lands. It's miserable. And then Eldrazi Tron. We played a ton of Rhinos, and I feel like we could win that match, but we got all this dusted twice, and our opponent was really good at drawing, like, Eldrazi Temples, which made it even rougher. So that was what I felt like we could have won. So really, we finished 3-2 playing all tier decks, essentially, and the deck felt really solid. Rhino-wise, I believe, by my count, and it's a little weird because sometimes people scoop with a Rhino in the stack, but I think we had roughly 25 Rhinos in our 5 matches, which that's a pretty healthy Rhino average. It's like 5 Rhinos a match, and we had a lot of games where Rhinos won us the game. I think essentially every game Rhino was the reason we won. We had some of the nutty Rhino draws where we just like Rhino into copy Rhino, have like 3 Rhinos really early in the game. We won against Jund where they Maelstrom pulsed 2 Rhinos and then we played 2 more. It was just really insane, really fun, and I gotta say, Siege Rhino, it's still a very good Magic card. We did see against like Tron how going all in on Rhinos can not always work out. Like, against some of the unfair decks, they don't care about Siege Rhino that much. They actually don't even care about 2 or 3 Siege Rhinos all that much, because they just storm off or Tron off or whatever combo they're doing. But against decks that are actually playing fair Magic, even like kind of unfairish decks like Burn, we were able to really leverage our Rhinos effectively. And I think, apart from Siege Rhino itself and just playing 35 Siege Rhinos, I think the sweetest part of this deck, and a part of the deck that I'd like to explore more in the future, is quasi-duplicate Cackling Counterpart. Copying Siege Rhinos is great, but I feel like there are probably other things we could copy as well. We didn't get to do it much in our matches because it's just a one-of sideboard card, but like repeatedly copying Frilled Mystic could actually be pretty effective. There's obviously risk with the plan. You can get blown out by removal, but if you're careful and play tight, it seems like it could be a pretty powerful lock with cards like that. So I was impressed with Cackling Counterpart, quasi-duplicate, and I think over the course of our game, we used basically every Rhino. We might not have Progenitor Mimic, but other than that, every single Rhino came into play, Rhino, and it worked really well. So I feel like 35 Rhinos definitely lived up to its predecessor's laurels. And I think actually our record might be almost exactly the same, oddly, as when we played this 4 years ago, whatever, in Standard. So if you want a Rhino people, and Rhino people, and Rhino people, yeah, 35 Rhino seems like the way to go. It can work in Modern almost as well, or exactly as well, I guess, based on the record, as it does in Standard. So, yeah, if you like Siege Rhinoing people, give it a shot. Anyway, that has been our first ever Against the Odd Classic, revisiting an old card, an old deck. So let me know what you think. Is this something we should do more of, kind of revisiting old cards, giving them a chance to shine in a different format with all the new cards that have been printed? Let me know what you think. What did you think of the Rhino deck? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.